From O'Shaughnessy Stadium on the campus of the University of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota, it is the Tommies of St. Thomas headed back to the Stag Bowl for the second time in 4 seasons as they defeated Linfield by the score of 38-17. And it was the Jordan Roberts show, referred to in one national publication as the cleric in cleats, the cleated cleric, and he was amazing on Saturday afternoon. 256 yards rushing on 33 carries and a pair of touchdowns, part of a St. Thomas rushing attack that netted 389 yards as the Tommies jumped out to a 20-0 lead, led 23-3 in the half, and held on to win 38-17. Oh, the big question, one of the big questions throughout the week, who would start a quarterback for the Wildcats? And it was between Tom Connect and Sam Riddle. Riddle, who got injured late in the first half of the second round win against Cortland State, and he was on the sidelines again on Saturday for the start as Tom Connect went 14 for 28 passing for 117 yards in the first half as Linfield struggled quite a bit on offense and St. Thomas took a 23-3 lead. Then Sam Riddle came out to start the third quarter, and he struggled a little bit. He looked ineffective at times. Clearly the right ankle bothering him. At times he just couldn't push off. He left some throws short, threw an interception, but he was 15 of 24 passing for 173 yards, threw 2 touchdowns, and seemed to help rally the Wildcats back into it here in front of this boisterous crowd in St. Paul. Led a pair of touchdown drives to cut the score to 30-17. Then St. Thomas covered an onside kick, and it was the Jordan Roberts show once again. He had really strong in the fourth quarter. He entered the quarter with 30 carries for 202 yards and just had a huge drive, pretty much primarily by himself as the Tommies pretty much ran the ball all day. And he finished with a touchdown. He has 34 rushing touchdowns on the season and a single season school record for yards with more than 1,800. Tommy passing game, not as much to talk about. They didn't go to the air very much. John Gould, 5 of 11 passing for 55 yards. He was picked off once. Charlie Daddle, the big pass-catching tight end for the Tommies, just 1 catch for 29 yards. But really the story of the game, along with the rushing yards in which St. Thomas outgained Linfield 389-55, was also the turnovers. Linfield turned the ball over 5 times. St. Thomas turned it over just twice as the Tommies win 38-17. St. Thomas improves to 14-0 overall. Linfield with their first loss of the season here in the national semifinals, and they fall to 12-1. So a rematch of the 2012 Stag Bowl, a game in which Mount Union won by the score of 28-10, and a couple of great backs looking forward to a game in the Stag Bowl. Roberts, as we mentioned, 256 yards, 145 of them in the second half, and Logan Nemeth obviously with a fantastic game with 214 yards for Mount Union on the ground as well. That should be a great matchup to watch in Salem. And also the offensive line for St. Thomas today, again, just fantastic. A really stellar performance. St. Thomas dominated time of possession. They had a bruising 7-minute drive in a time where in the second quarter where Linfield needed to get some points on the board to try to make it close before halftime. Didn't happen. St. Thomas, as we mentioned, jumped out to that 20-0 start. They led 23-3 at the half, and the final was 38-17. For D3Football.com, I'm Pat Coleman from St. Thomas here in St. Paul, Minnesota.